This week has been one of the most dramatic weeks of the offseason for the Chicago Bears. The Bears just got their new center after Drew Dalman retired earlier this week. The Bears reportedly agreed to a trade, a 2027 fifth-round pick to the New England Patriots for center Garrett Bradbury. Last year, Bradbury gave up 0 sacks and gave up 0 pressures. Now, his PFF stats have him ranked around the 30th best center in the league, but that's not how I see it, and that's not how you should see it. Also, with Dan Rashar, Ben Johnson, I've got a lot of confidence in this guy. The other big thing to note is that when he was at NC State and traveled away, he was Joe Thuney's roommate. That's huge. A guy like this already knows Joe Thuney. That's what I'm thinking. Anybody that comes into that center position that has a little bit of experience will do just fine with Jonah Jackson and Joe Thuney right next to him. That being said, I don't think that anybody could have done the job. But right now, let's get into why this was the craziest week, starting with Drew Dalman. This was the biggest surprise in my opinion. Drew Dalman retired from the NFL after only 5 seasons on March 3rd. He had just come off his Pro Bowl season and was expected to anchor this offensive line for the long term. Now, his father was in the NFL and he retired early. This was his first major contract year. So this year is when he made generational money, stepping away from that now to pursue life. The second most shocking thing and in sequential order was DJ Moore traded to the Bills. Now, the only reason that I say this was the second biggest surprise was because we all thought this was coming. We thought that he might get cut. We were hoping for a trade. But this trade that Poles pulled off was absolutely insane. The Bears traded star wide receiver DJ Moore to the Buffalo Bills. The Bears sent DJ Moore plus a 2026 fifth-round pick, and the Bears received a 2026 second-round pick, which is the 60th overall. Moore was a huge piece in this offense, and say what you want. He polarized people. People call him lazy. People say he didn't run the right routes. I don't know enough about what was going on in that huddle to say any of those things. What happened in that Rams game comes down to a lot of things. 1, why did Ben Johnson call such an aggressive play? 2, why did Caleb Williams call into a route that you weren't exactly thrilled about? 3, did DJ Moore have a concussion? And then 4, did DJ Moore run a sloppy route? Those are all things that I want answers to that I'm never going to get as a fan. And that's what you don't know as a fan. You don't know what's going on in that huddle. I think that DJ Moore was a guy that showed up every single day. He was exceptional. He's continuously getting better at his craft. And say what you will, that goes a long way. There are guys that just play their first contract and then are out of the NFL. Very talented guys that do that. DJ Moore is not one of those guys. DJ Moore is an Iron Man. He's a guy that will fight through a broken back, getting hit by Nixon early in the game, catching a game-winning touchdown. Let's go on to Tremaine Edmunds now. Shortly after that Moore trade, the Bears released linebacker Tremaine Edmunds. Now, I didn't think this was going to come that fast, but this saves about $15 million. And this was one of those things that we were all saying was going to happen, but didn't know exactly when it was going to happen. But it happened right after the DJ Moore trade. And Edmunds was great for us. He got injured, and then when he came back, he wasn't the same player. Say what you will. That being said, he is young. And he is going to help out a team in need. It looks like he'll probably go to the Titans with Robert Saleh. Chicago had previously allowed Edmunds to seek a trade, but when nothing materialized, we just kind of let him go, it seems like. This created a major hole at middle linebacker on defense. So I ask you, the viewer right now, Who should we get as middle linebacker? Is that as easy as DeMarco Jackson, or do we need to draft? And the fan favorite is obviously Jacob Rodriguez, but he might go a little bit earlier in the draft. So the Drew Dalman thing was one of the biggest shocks. Just completely took me off guard there. I didn't think that that was going to happen, but we got our new center already today. It's March 6th, Friday, 6:25 p.m. as I'm filming this. They reportedly agreed to a trade of a 2027 fifth-round pick, the Bears, to the New England Patriots for Garrett Bradbury. Now, people are already bringing up Bradbury's PFF stats and saying, this guy is trash. What the hell are we doing? This guy's only good for 1 year. Well, like I said at the top of the show, he is a solid center. He just went to the Super Bowl. Say what you will about that line. That was one of the best runs that we've seen in a while. And yeah, their strength of schedule was one of the easiest in the last 50 years. But that being said, he was solid. He didn't give up a single sack, didn't give up a single pressure. So whatever that PFF score is, he had over 1,000 snaps, never gave up a penalty, a sack, or a pressure. So you do the math and you do your own assessment. For a while now, I think that PFF is cooked. I don't really like them as much. I mean, go to one of your favorite players and look at PFF stats, and you will see that there are games in there that you don't agree with. And now, this brings us to our biggest point, is the Bears now have huge cap space. The DJ Moore trade, Tremaine Edmunds release, Drew Dalman retirement, and now we bring in Bradbury, who has a cap hit of anywhere from $4 to $8 million. That's huge. Now we're in a position to spend aggressively. And at this very moment that I am filming this, we are still the favorites to get Max Crosby. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but if we don't get Max Crosby, I think that we're right there to get Trey Hendrickson. I like that 2-year deal a lot better than bringing in Max Crosby. That's just my opinion. I'd love to hear what you think about the trade in the comments. As always, I'm Buddy. This is the Bears Buddy Podcast.